Hey there, love bugs. What is poppin'? My name is Rabbit, and welcome to episode number 49 of Let's Play Through Final Fantasy Origins, specifically Final Fantasy 1 on the PlayStation 1. In our previous episode, as we were continuing to make our way through the Temple of Chaos in the past, we ended up finding a familiar face. Yes, we did find ourselves facing off against Lich once again, although in a bit of an underwhelming encounter. He was just kind of manning the stairs here on the basement 1 floor, and actually I'm pretty sure you can get into fights with him over and over and over again if you want to. So I want to step back down here just to see, and yes, confirmed. So he kind of is just chilling here. You whoop his butt and then he yields and lets you continue along, I guess, to face off against any of the other fiends that we may come across. Now, even just based on the music, it's kind of implied, in my opinion, that Lich is not quite at the level that he becomes in our present day. So it's like he's a fiend in training, I guess. I don't really know, but he's not doing a whole lot, and that is a-okay because we really don't want to mess with him anyway. So with all that being said, I don't think I'm even going to worry about him too much. I say just let's attack him and go. He doesn't have that much HP. He really doesn't do a whole lot of damage either. So Tyrone is actually going to step up and be doing a couple of physical attacks himself. Just jab him a little bit with the knife. Although, you know, Lich doesn't really have any flesh, so do those jabby jabs even do anything? Probably not. But anyway, that is our recap. I just wanted to show you that Lich is still kind of hanging out here on the basement 1 level. So if you, for whatever reason, do feel like you need to fight him for XP, I guess you can. He really isn't that big of a deal, but you will not find yourselves with too much guild to show for it. So it is what it is. There you go. Let us continue. We are now on the basement 2 level, continuing to look for any source of everything that ended up happening in our present day world. So I kind of left you guys in our last episode with the thought that, okay, we know that the fiends are here. That's been confirmed, but do we know who was behind all of this? Because who did I really just use Saber again on you, Tyrone? I guess just muscle memory, because that's what I just did in that encounter with Lich. But what I was going to say is we know that the fiends kind of all came and wreaked havoc at some point, but we don't know who was behind the whole plotting and planning process. So for all we know, it could have been the 4 of them kind of scheming. I could see Tiamat sort of leading the way there and being the brains behind the operation. However, it is also very possible that they were recruits, and there is a head honcho that we've yet to identify. So that is kind of what we're doing as we're making our way through the past of 2,000 years ago in the Temple of Chaos. We're kind of seeing what all is going on. Where do we need to be? Who do we need to see? And what awaits us? I was worried in previous episodes that we might need to warp out of here to replenish levels, or I should say HP and all of our charges, but it looks like we're actually doing okay. But side note, the reason why I said replenish levels is because Tyrone did in fact gain a level with only 5 HP, some strength, some agility, some intelligence, and endurance. Not the best HP accrual, however, I'm always happy to see all of those extra stats when our team does gain those levels. Although I guess we're reaching a point where the levels probably aren't going to matter as much because we really should be in the, oh lord, I guess this is not the way I need to go. There might have been a door right behind me, and oh, lava worms. I don't think we've seen this color of them before. They're usually the purple ones. But anyway, what I was starting to say is if you've made it this far, you probably have decent levels on your team, or you would have died on that floor where poor Burl was getting destroyed. But, you know, I could be wrong. I think, again, it also depends on the team that you have, how lucky you get, and what enemy encounters kind of end up weighing down on the specific party that you have. We've been doing okay once we got past those flippin' green dragons. That was a hassle and a half. No, I'm going to say it. That was a nightmare, borderline shit show. But we made it. No point in worrying about it. Burl is fine. Rohit is the one struggling now a little bit as the enemies are reshifting their focus to him. I think before, they were just loving on Burl. giving him some sweet smooches. I mean, he is kind of the bulk of our team, honestly. I've said it before and I'll say it again. He is single-handedly dragging us across this finish line. But it is important to remember, and not just with our team in the game, but a life lesson for you all, IRL. You're only as good as your team, right? I think when one person shines or succeeds, the whole team shines and succeeds. So Burl would not be where he is without the contributions of his party members. Oh, so I can go up this way. What on earth? Let's run and just see. I think I need to go in that direction I was trying to, but we were blocked by those pillars. I think. I can't really remember, but we're just gonna loop on down because that looked to me like the direction we needed to go in. I just needed to head northward first and hook around. But I really do believe that an individual is only as strong as their team. So if you have one person, that's amazing, but then everyone else sucks, you know, that's obviously gonna weigh on the one person doing awesome. But you also have it on the flip side if like 5 people in your team are incredible and one person is just lazy or for whatever reason just can't pull their weight. The 5 people doing awesome kind of elevates that person that's struggling. Now, there are a lot of different applications to this, and you don't want to always be in that position where one person is coasting or, you know, one person is trying to carry the weight of everyone, because typically that ends up bringing them down. But there is something to be said for having that team mentality, even in relationships, so friendships, marriages, whatever, workplace environments. You want to try to, in my opinion, look at things kind of with, well, maybe I can't go that way. I don't know. I guess we'll go to the right. It looked like there was a door over there. I probably should actually be paying attention to where I'm going instead of talking about teamwork. But I do think it is important. That is something that I really try to embrace, especially with my work. Sometimes you have to work in collaborative environments, even if what you do is very like one-on-one. So for me, now especially, a lot of the patient care that I do is very individualized. I'm not a part of as diverse of a team. It is still multidisciplinary, but not in the same way as some of the other agencies that I've been with in the past, where I've got slews of like nurses and social workers and just all different types of people, occupational therapists, speech therapists, physical therapists, just a whole team of people, an army to support all these different needs of patients. I'm now functioning in a very specific and more, I think, isolated type of work environment where it is very much each department or each team kind of does their own thing, and then the collaboration is mostly just discussing treatment goals and making sure everything aligns with the needs of the patient. But there's really not as much, hey, can the nurse, the physical therapist, and the counselor all go out and do an assessment, and then the social worker will follow up. There's not as much of that. But anyway, the point of me saying all that is, one thing that I did learn from working in very multidisciplinary and collaborative teams, or at least I should say heavily collaborative, because I think in most places there's going to be a bit of collaboration to an extent. Maybe not a lot, but still a little. But for very heavily collaborative environments, I think you learn really quick that it is important for everyone to recognize that you are a team, and what you guys kind of do as a team sets the tone for everything else. So, you know, the more people that do great, the better. If one or two aren't doing so hot, the ones that are can kind of pull that person up. Or if more people are not doing what they're supposed to, it definitely leads to burnout for the one or two, the minority that are kind of doing what they're supposed to do. So I say all of that. I know, how did I get on that spiel? Just to say, Burl is awesome and he kicks a lot of butt. However, he would be nowhere without his team. So I think it is important for us to recognize the contributions of Rohit, even if he's just been the sponge soaking up a bit of damage from the enemies along the way. We've also had Melvin in the background dishing out some fantastic heals and keeping the team alive, and Tyrone throwing out buffs left, right, front, and center. So we're definitely a team here. And now my question is, I came all this way. What on earth? I guess this is just kind of like a maze. We've said it before, though. It is the Temple of Chaos. So it's not supposed to be straightforward and lead us right to victory. That is for sure. So I'll try to restructure my expectations here and accept that I might have to run around and backtrack a little bit, but this floor is really not that bad. The enemies have been fairly straightforward. Outside of Rohit being a little bit of a punching bag for them here, it's not been too bad. So we'll just continue on our merry little way. Hopefully Lich is not too sour at us for kicking his butt twice, but you know, he didn't have to still stay there at the stairs. You know, we gave him a swift kick in the butt, told him we're moving forward, and he could have said, you know what, I'm out. I'm not interested in world domination. Maybe my future could be bright with being an overlord, but I kind of don't like the pain that I just had to deal with. So I'm going to go back to Starbucks and climb the ranks there. Probably a good call for you, Lich. Probably a good call. We'll see what the other fiends think. They may or may not follow suit. They might be a little bit more stubborn and feel like they've got a case against us, but we'll be ready for whatever it is they have to say. So let me just make sure my team is as healed as they need to be. We're looking good. Everyone's almost at max. Burl's the only one that doesn't have his HP capped out, which is fine. I think I want... I don't know what's down... Oh. There are doors. Am I ridiculous? Did I need to come up this way? Too many paths for me to choose from, friends. Way too many paths. We'll try these bottom doors first. Okay, if I could get in them, monsters, are you for real, Fire Gigas? It's one of you and 4 of me. Did you not see what I just did to 3 of those worms? Why would you even square up against me? I don't even understand. Okay, outside of that little annoying interruption. Oh, there are chests over here. Can I read? Oh, a protect ring. Kind of old news, I'm pretty sure. Let's see what else is around here. I honestly don't... Oh, Lord. Pyros. I don't know if they're going to be a problem or not. Let's try not to even give them the chance to mess with me. We'll see if the Venom Blade can get rid of someone or if that muddle effect... Oh, Lord. We missed it. It's okay. I don't think they're going to be a problem, but then again, you never know. So it's probably always wise to just plan for the worst from these enemies. And can you guys really leave Rohit alone? It would be very appreciated. And I'll go ahead and heal up my team. But we're getting closer. I think those stairs that we saw are going to take us to the next floor we need to head into, but I did want to explore down this way first, and I guess I'm glad that I did, but at this point, we kind of talked about this a few episodes ago when we looked at some of the extra things added to the Origins version of the original Final Fantasy. Oh, let me put that on pause so we can celebrate Rohit's gained level with 7 HP, some strength, some luck, and that is all he got. So not a whole lot to celebrate there. And what on earth? We can go down this way too. That is so crazy. I don't know if it's worth it for us to be running around. However... So that's what I was starting to say is I kind of feel like with all of the chests and all of the extra like collector's items, so you know, unlocking all of the monsters in the bestiary, looking at the art, getting all the chests, I don't really care about getting full completion in that sense. I think that makes for a really fun like side goal if you play through this a second or third time. For me, I just wanted to experience this version of the original Final Fantasy, having been a pretty decent vet of the original NES game. I very much enjoy that game, even though I know a lot of people deem it a little outdated and it certainly has some antiquated features. But hold on again, because Melvin gained a level himself with 8 HP, some strength, some luck, and that is all. But that is more than enough, Melvin, because I think you guys are going to be okay. I'm kind of regretting running around down here now because it looks like we're not finding much. We got that. You know what I will do? Let's just use, protects against instant death. Maybe I need to check and see. I think I've already got a protect ring on someone, and then the other 3 have the ribbons, which, speaking of the ribbons, due to how much Burl was kind of getting his butt kicked, I probably should, at some point, swap the ribbon out. Unless I did already. I honestly can't remember. Oh Lord, what did I even click on for you? I might have already switched it out, but I might not have. We'll look at that here once we're done with this fight, which should not go on for too much longer. We'll just try to get everyone beefed up a little bit more, because Rohit, again, dipping a little lower than I really want him to. Let me see. Did I put the ribbon on Burl? Or am I making up memories here? Oh no, so he does have the protect ring. Oh, the protect ring is different. The ribbon is the helmet. But it's still, my point is, even though I have no idea what I'm talking about, obviously, the point is we do have all of the protect rings that we need. So it is old news, but what is not old news is that Burl still has the leather cap, and he probably needs the ribbon. What I might do is take off... Well, could anyone else use the leather cap? That's the question. That is the question. I think so. Let me remove this here. And we'll just quickly take a look. Leather cap. Yeah, everyone can wear it. You know what I'm going to do? I am going to go ahead and take off Tyrone's ribbon. It stinks a little bit. I wish there were more ribbons in the game, but there unfortunately are not. I'm pretty sure 3 is the limit, which I guess it's kind of strategic, right? Because it puts you in the situation that I'm in right now, where you very much have to kind of sit down and think, okay, who's going to benefit the most from having this? And then by process of elimination, you're left with the one person that not necessarily is the most expendable, but can maybe withstand a little bit more of what's coming out. And I do think that Burl absolutely needs this ribbon. I probably should have put it on him on that floor where those dragons were, because that was a mess for our team. It is what it is, though. We made it through that floor barely by the skin of our teeth, but we did make it. So there's another door down there. Oh my gosh, I have no idea where we're going. I probably need to just turn around and take those stairs. I recognize that there are treasures down here, but I'm kind of at the point, I'll be honest with you guys, where I don't know if the treasures that we're going to find will be worth the sheer number of encounters that we're getting in. Our team's pretty capped out in terms of equipment. We're fine on spells. I don't think we're going to actually need to exit like I was thinking we were going to need to when Burl was really struggling. I think we've kind of pulled ourselves back up, and we're doing a bit better, and mostly where we need to be is what I was trying to say, as well as expressing that I think we're doing better. So with all of that word jumble alphabet soup that's I'm trying to explain, is I don't know if I really want to prioritize looking for these treasure chests anymore. I just think the encounter rate's a little, not unbearable, but it's a bit much for sure. And I think they should have given you, oh, a Sasuke. They should have given us a way to minimize the number of fights we're getting into. And it's a light ninja blade. I almost said a knight ninja blade, which would not make any sense. But unfortunately, regardless of how you want to say that, I don't have a ninja in my party, so nobody can actually use that Sasuke, which comes back to what I was saying, that at the end of the day, most of the equipment, most of the items that we're going to be picking up are probably not going to bear much value to my team. So I might not do as much exploring as we're navigating these final floors. And I just wanted you guys to understand why. It's not that I don't recognize that there are likely chests scattered throughout these areas, but I don't know if it's worth my time. I would really have enjoyed having, even if it was a very rare item, some sort of consumable that let me see. I'll go ahead and just heal up again. That removes the incentive for enemies wanting to pursue us. Or even if it only lasts a short amount of time and there are only a few scattered throughout the world, it would have been nice for dungeons like this where you could just say, okay, I don't really want to deal with fights anymore. I just want to get through all the floors to find the fiends or whomever it is that I'm looking for. I just don't know if the sustained high encounter rate is that valuable at a certain point in the game. It's great early on because your team absolutely needs the levels to grow and be able to navigate later dungeons. I mean, you guys, I don't know if you remember from our beginning, we had some close flipping calls. We've had a few very difficult areas and dungeons that we've had to go through, and it wasn't really until about that 50% mark, maybe a little after, when Burl kind of was able to rise up and shine. That was when things became more bearable. But for a long time, it was really tough. And I think having a lower encounter rate with the same difficulty of enemies would have been a nightmare. You know, you'd be spending even longer trying to gain levels. So I get it. It pads the game, which is short, and it does allow your team to kind of climb rank. But I guess, you know, as I'm saying this, what they could have done is lowered the encounter rate, but increased XP accrual from each of the enemies that you're facing. So, I mean, obviously there are multiple ways that you can balance out things like this. I'm confident that many of you are well aware just from your years and histories with gaming as well. You can balance out level accrual, you can balance out difficulty in a myriad of ways, and I think for them, and the way that the game was structured, so, you know, heralding back to what I was saying earlier and why I know some people don't like this game, is they feel like the design is a bit outdated. And I don't know if I necessarily agree fully with that. I think it's just simpler, a product of its time's limitations is what I would say personally. But again, I recognize that means this game is not for everyone, and even with all of the polish and those cool little things that they added to this version of the original Final Fantasy, you still can't fully change the way that it's designed. And I guess that might also be why some people prefer, what is it, the Dawn of Souls, I think is what it's called, that version. It's my, oh Lord, I did not mean to do that, Tyrone, but it's okay, because between Burl and Rohit, I think these lava worms are a done deal. Or maybe they're not, and I'm just talking crap. But I think it's the Dawn of Souls version on the Game Boy Advance. They changed the mana system, and I think the game was made a little bit more palatable, and they made it a little easier. I don't necessarily think the difficulty needs to be changed as much as I just wish, if anything got added to this version or later versions, I think adding a way to decrease encounters would be just a godsend. For me, anyway. But with all that being said, who really cares what I think? And we made it this far in the game. I think this is hardly the point for us to really worry too terribly much about, I guess, the encounter rate. And you know what I might actually do? Let me just take out these enemies. We're not even going to take that right path because I'm guessing, I guess I could keep you here and actually fight them while I'm saying my final thoughts on this. I am going to guess that the last couple of chests on this floor, which would be along that right side, I don't think they're going to have anything important. I'm guessing one of them's going to have like money. But then again, watch there be a really nice, oh Lord. Okay, what I will do, I will run back through. I know, I just can't make up my mind, can I? Because on one hand, I'm saying, you know, screw all the treasures. We've got everything we need. Who cares? I just want to get through all of the fiends and get through all of the floors. But then a part of me is like, oh, shoot. But what if there is something really nice that I don't want to overlook? Because with my luck, there will be something OP and amazing that I now decide to pass on instead of missing what? We got that Sasuke. We could have absolutely skipped on that, and it would have been no sweat off my brow. But I don't know for sure what is in that other section, so maybe I will just run up myself and bring you guys back at the chests. But for those of you that want to see where they are, okay, maybe what I'll do, I'll stop being a butthead, and I will cut out all of the fights just so that it's a smooth transition for you guys as I'm trying to make my way through. I know, I've been kind of garbage in this LP. It's like I'll cut out every 4 fights, whereas usually I cut out most of the repeats. But there are just so many encounters. If I was doing that, I'd be cutting out like every 30 seconds of content or every 30 seconds of me talking, which I guess I could do, but hopefully this works for you guys as you're listening to me struggle my way through all of this. Probably not, but you know, I guess you could have it on in the background, right? It's, I know, I said I'm gonna cut it out and then we find one enemy. Is there really a value in cutting out this? I mean, really, you guys. And go Tyrone. Even he's sick of all the crap we're going through here. I know, me too, Tyrone, me too. Let's just run over to the right-hand side. And okay, I'm getting my shit together. No more repeats. All right, that muddle ended up actually working, of course, in the fight where you guys are not with me. The enemies don't end up messing with me. But you see what I'm saying? Like 3 steps. And we're back here with the fire lizards. Okay, we're getting there, friends. And hey, there's a level for Burl. 16 HP, that's what I'm talking about. More agility, more endurance, more luck. Could we get lucky enough to have these enemies leave us alone? That would be a really nice place to start game. And what is this? A protect cloak. Okay. I don't know. Have we seen this before? Large cloak that can be worn over armor. Actually, we probably have. So everyone except for Burl can use it. I honestly don't remember what everyone's wearing. Let's see. White robe. It would replace the buckler. So it's a shield. I don't really want to take that off Rohit because sometimes it really gets the job done. Okay, I already have one on Tyrone. Oh, so I take it back. You know, I was saying, I don't know if we're going to find anything else of value for the team. And then look, we ran over here and I found a Protect Cloak, which is going to be perfect for boosting Melvin's defenses a little bit. Although his evasion's going to drop slightly, I think that increase of 8 to defense is going to be really nice. So we'll go ahead and throw it on him. Okay. Not a bad find after all, so I will eat my words about not wanting to run over here, but what I will not eat my words about is that I don't want to go back through all of this looking for all of the treasure on this floor. So we're going to ignore, I'm sure there's a 4th one, but I don't want to have to spend 5 minutes running all the way around to find it. You know, it is what it is. I'm just going to take my chances and leave whatever that other treasure chest is. To me, it's not worth it. So let us try to descend. And what is this? Marilith. It's been so long, yet I guess for you, it's the first time you're meeting us. And it will be your last because we're not going to allow what happened in the future to start today. But what we are going to do is actually call this episode Quitsies, and when we come back together in episode number 50 of Let's Play Through Final Fantasy Origins, specifically Final Fantasy 1 on the PlayStation 1, we will kickstart that episode by kicking Marilith's butt. Does she have a butt? Her butt is actually like a snake tail, so her butt's not her butt. The actual butt would be like towards the end of the tail, right? Anyway, I will see you guys in our upcoming episode where we are going to tackle Marilith, and then we will continue our pursuit of all of the other fiends, and hopefully we can save the future and the world as a whole through our efforts with time travel. We're doing the most, honestly, as the Warriors of Light. But anyway, take care, be good, and I will see you guys here in just a second.